Hello everybody, this is Jill with Greenwood Girl Cards, and I know I said I wasn't going to do a Saturday Morning Makes video this week, but I ended up making stuff tonight, so maybe we'll just call this a Friday night freebie because I'm not going to post an official Saturday Morning Makes video until after the new year. I really am going to lay low this weekend. I've got to do some Christmas cards and take care of some other stuff, but Dianna Marcum came out with a digital stamp product this week, and I'm sure most of you have already seen it. It's a $5 product. It's in her Etsy shop with some of the other stuff that she carries there. And I just wanted to come on and share it with you. And again, it's a $5 purchase on Etsy. You print it out. I printed it 4 to a page here, but you can print it, you know, whatever size you want depending on your printer driver and what you have available as far as what software products you might be using to manipulate sizings of digital stamp products. So but this is like a digital printable, and it's really easy to use as far as you can just print it as she has it set up if you want and do it that size, or you can do what I did, which was to print the page 4 times on a single sheet, or you can print it 2 times and get it slightly bigger. But anyway, I did it 4 times so that I'd have some variety in sizes, and then I also isolated one of the images and printed it bigger. So I'm going to show you the tags that I created, and I've already shared the tip with you that's, you know, you can color your gingers by just taking a brown marker and going over them, and then you go back in with your white gel pen to add highlights and do different things, and then you can trim these out. I only trimmed one of them out, and I'll show you what I did with it. But I just wanted to mention that these were available. There's been a lot of interest in Dianna Marcum's products and her beautiful art, and I want to thank Dianna for putting these out. It certainly made me happy. She's a wonderful artist, and she is going to be re-releasing her stamps with Adornit in the future here. So those of you that are wanting her products will be able to get them. In the meantime, she released this digital, which is wonderful. So you can also use this digital to make some sweet gingerbread loaf tags. So, and then it also has this to from and the little ginger. So I wanted to just come on and talk about that a little bit, and I'm going to show you what I made with it. And then I also did today is every Friday we do a Crafty Dare. And the dare this week was to use a star and, oh geez, what was it? A star and a Happy New Year sentiment, and then free choice was the third option. So I'm going to show you what I did. I used this stitched star from Impression Obsession. This is an Anna White die. If you guys don't follow Anna, make sure you go to her channel. She has a YouTube channel and a wonderful blog called Sweetness Daisy at Typepad, I believe. And I will link some information down below. But this is her primitive stitched star die that came out this winter, and it's die 1129-W, and it's just a wonderful stitched star die that you can use for a lot of different things. And I love the stitching and just the little kind of primitive style to this. So I use that. I use these stitched rounded rectangle dies. These were a Little Inker Designs, I believe, die back in the day. So this is, I don't know how old, 15 years old. I think I used every single size except the smallest one. And then for paper, I used this Peppermint Express paper pad. This is, what year is this? 2013. Because like I said, most of my stuff is old. I haven't bought anything new in a long time, and a lot of these papers are already gone, so I don't have many, you know, there's not much left in here, but there, you know, there's a few, but it's getting down to the dregs a little bit. So I used that. I used these O-rings, or whatever these are called, jump rings, I guess. A pair of pliers, and then I used this metal, not metal, wired ribbon from Factory Direct Craft, and I did a haul from them earlier this year where I showed you guys some products, and this is one of the things that I got from them, and so I did use this. So that's everything that I used, almost. I used some Memento inks, and then I did use my LOTV tags. I used a lot of their digital tags, and I still have not put tags on everything I'm going to show you, but it's getting late tonight and I've had a long day, so I will add the rest of the tags and maybe some jingle bells to these tags off camera. I just wanted to come on tonight and share this because tomorrow I'm determined to work on Christmas cards all day, or at least a large part of the day. So let me show you what I created with the digital. First of all, she has this cute little to from, and all the felt that you're going to see is felt that's left over from my Crafty Dares project. So I cut out my Crafty Dares project, and then all the scrap felt that I had, I threw it on my desk to use to make these tags. And so I just colored in the little to from, and I backed it with some felt, and I'm gonna cut a larger piece of cardstock, I think, and make a slightly larger tag for this to go on. But I'm not gonna do it tonight. I'll do it tomorrow maybe, or the next day. So and then I made this little tag with a piece of felt that was left. I was able to die cut this with one of those dies that I showed you, the rounded rectangles. And then I used this scrap of paper, and there's the little ginger. I did add a smiley face to her ginger, and I also added a little bit of hair with a white gel pen. So, and then this is one of those tags from the LOTV Digi Shop. This one says Sugar and Spice Cookie Company. So I just loaded that on there, and then this is just tied with some of that wired ribbon. Okay, so this is a felt tag. So just really simple and sweet. So those are the first two things that I made. I hope I'm in frame here, good. And then I'll go through and I'll show you the rest. So you can see the touches of felt. These are all the scrap felt pieces that were left over after the ornament that I made. And I just used my hot glue gun to attach them front and back. I took some of the Dollar Tree twine and I made a tie through the felt opening, and then I added a little bow. And I colored the sweet little ginger. One of my markers was being a little bit weird, so there's some streaking here, and no matter how many times I went over it, I couldn't get rid of the streaking. So I don't know what was going on with my markers today, but I don't mind. I think it looks cute anyway, and I love these sweet little gingers that she did. Now on these ones, I didn't add the mouth, and I can't decide if I want to do the mouth or not. I think it looks cute either way. So. But these are just those papers. This was a scrap, and then this one was a sheet that I cut into. So there's that one, and I love her little gingerbread loaf recipe that she created. Here's another one. This uses the other piece. So this is the second half of this piece of paper. I die cut this first, and then with the scrap, I die cut half of this to create the bottom half of this tag. So I love to try to use up the pieces of paper as I do it. So on these ones, I added a mouth, and then I made the hearts into a button just for fun. And I did color in some of the letters on gingerbread loaf with a red Copic marker. These are all colored with different Copic markers. I added some white gel pen, and I used a brown Tri-Plus fine liner to also add some detail. And I went around it with a gray Copic because I couldn't find my fine liner black marker. I think it's actually down here, and I just didn't feel like running down to get it, so I just used a Copic. So there is a little bit of drift on the color on these, but that's okay. You know, it's handmade. So so that's that one, and then I did curl the ribbon a little bit, and that's the fun thing about having that wired ribbon. Here's one where I added, I hot glued a snowflake. I have a whole pile of these. I'm working on a wreath upstairs in my living room that's going to go on my mudroom door, and I'm not quite done with it, but I was putting some snowflakes on the wreath, and I thought, oh, this looks cool, so I put one on to this tag. There's my little touch of felt and a little piece of the twine again, and then this one I just left the background white, and then I tried to shade the loaf pan a little bit to make it look old and kind of vintage looking. And I did add the smiley faces and it turned the little hearts into buttons just for fun. So it's fun to play around with your stamps and color things differently. Here's one where I added a background color of a BG10 marker. So I colored this with some different greens and some different browns. And I added a Christmas wishes tag on this one. I curled the ribbon, added my little piece of twine, and hot glued this. I did pop up this with a little bit of dimension. But you could also print this multiple times and pop up your gingers. You know, there's a lot of different things. You could pop up the pan further, but I kept these fairly simple. And these are some tags that I might glue these to the front of some plain bags that I have upstairs to turn them into Christmas bags. So I was debating on what to do, and I decided to keep them fairly plain, but make them big enough that I can put them on the front of a gift bag. But they could also just be used as a regular tag. And then this last one has a slightly longer piece because this piece of felt was longer. I had a little more room to make it a long piece. And then this is that same paper pad, and then the little gingers, and just colored it as normal. And then this is a BG10 marker in the background. So I had a lot of fun playing with that, with the printable from Dianna Marcum. Dianna, thank you so much for putting that out, and for all you're doing to bring your stamps back. It's just an exciting thing to know that you're going to be bringing stamp images back out, so that we can afford to purchase them, because they definitely have been getting bid up on the resale sites. So it's a wonderful Christmas gift to be able to get your digital printable. So I had a lot of fun playing with this. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing these. And then I'm going to show you my Crafty Dare. So I'm just going to kind of stack these together here a little bit. And then I'll bring out my Crafty Dare. And again, this is using, this is an ornament that I made using that die from Anna White that I showed you. That star die. So this again is the die that I used. Okay, so let me get this the right way. So there's just a little tie on here so that you can take this and wrap it around a branch on a tree and it'll hang. I did sew a button onto here, and I'd like to say that what I did was I went onto Pinterest and I tried to find a pattern that I liked, because I wanted to sew a design into the star to make it look, did I just say heart a minute ago? I hope I didn't. I wanted to sew a design into the star to make the ornament look like, you know, to have a pattern on it. And so this is my prototype, you guys. The first one you do, anytime you do the first of any ornament, oftentimes, unless you've been doing it a long time, which I do these only once a year, so it isn't perfect. If you look closely, you can see that the stitches are uneven and everything. But I also like homespun things. I don't need perfection. Some people do, you know, and that's fine. We all have to make art the way we want to do it. And so I just tried to make it look homespun. I took a button and sewed, and it has kind of a different buttonhole thing in the back. So it's a little bit kind of loose and twisty. And then I ended up adding some little red like holly berries around the edges of this star that I tried to put in the middle. And it's not completely even. And you can see all my funny sewing along here. But the thing about ornaments like this is that they really are homespun, and so I like that. And then the other part of the Crafty Dare was to use the words Happy New Year, and I couldn't find my Happy New Year. I think I have a stamp set somewhere that has a Happy New Year in it, but tonight I just couldn't find it. So I just took a tag and I wrote Happy New Year, and then I used one of my LOTV Digi tags that says Merry Christmas, and then I used a really pretty clear button, and I just sewed that to the back. So so that's how it turns out. Now if you're gonna make one of these, you want to die cut the star twice, and then you're gonna do all your sewing on the layer first. And then once you have your design in place, only then are you going to start sewing around the die. And this die does have stitching lines here, and what's neat is your needle will actually go through the stitching of your felt really easily, so you can make these little tiny stitches around the star, and that is what I did. I followed the lines of the die, and then I did add a bell to each side because I wanted this to jingle. So so that's my little ornament. This was a lot of fun to make. I do use just some polyfill. I have a huge bag of filling, like quilt batting or I think it's just polyfill, pillow fill or whatever. And that is what I filled this with. And when you sew it, what you want to do is you're going to sew your star tip together and then take the polyfill and use a little stick or like your pokey tool, and you're going to push the polyfill down into the corner, you know, so it goes all the way down the arm of the star. Okay, and then you'll keep sewing and you'll do the next one, till you come to the end, and then at the end you want to try and really make sure it's as full as you can get it and still sew. Okay, and then you end up with this cute star at the end. So remember, you do your decoration first, then you start sewing together and you add your filling as you go along, and then at the end you're just going to fill as much as you can and then sew the last piece together. And so this was a lot of fun to do, and you could really hang this either way. The only thing is, something got on the back here and I don't even know what it is. I think it almost feels like it's glue. But the only thing is, I didn't use any glue in this project other than hot glue right here. So I don't know what this is. I'm going to see if I can get it off tomorrow. So try to ignore that. All right, so those are my projects, the little tags from Dianna Marcum's printable, and I had a lot of fun playing with this. And I hope that if you guys are looking for Dianna Marcum stamps, this is a really easy way to just print some stamps off. You just order it, you download it to your computer and hit print, and you will have some things to color from Dianna Marcum. So I just wanted to come on and share these. I want to thank Tina of Tell 'em Thank You for hosting Crafty Dares. You can contact Tina over on Instagram if you're interested in joining in. It's a 3-prompt craft inspiration that happens once a week on Fridays. And you have all week. She gives you the new dare on the weekend, and you have all week to make your project, and then you share it on Friday. So I usually end up sharing mine on Friday afternoon lately, just because my weeks have been a little bit crazy. But it's a lot of fun to just have your prompts there, because then all you got to do is get your products out and create using the prompts. And I really do like that. So this was a lot of fun, and I'm so happy that I got another little ornament made to share with somebody. So so that's everything that I have to share tonight. Everybody have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Enjoy getting ready for Christmas. I want to thank Elise and Rhonda for hosting the 12 Days of Christmas. I was hoping to share more than I did, but I might go back and try and share the different prompts, just because I think it's so much fun. And then Tina of Crafty Bean is doing Show Me Your Christmas Tree, which I still want to try and film, but I need a day where there's some light at my house, because I live in a very dark area here in Seattle, and I tried filming and it's so dark you can't really see what I'm filming. So we'll see if we get enough light, a sunny day here where I can actually share my tree. But anyway, I just wanted to mention both of those hashtags. And then, of course, Bible Scraps, Felicia has the Rare Rubber Rarities. So lots of fun things going on. And I'm sure there's more that I'm not mentioning. So if you know more, put them down in the comments. If you know of an art collaboration that's going on during December that people can join in the fun. And then I wanted to mention too that I have some happy mail to share from some good friends, Lisa and Anna, and I think Yolanda also sent me some, and I also have some from Erica that I still need to share. So I'm hoping to get to all of those fairly soon. Okay? All right, everybody, have a wonderful weekend. Bye now.